Welcome to the LFCtribe. We're a brand new Liverpool Football Club fan-based podcast. We're available on Podbean, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So we'd appreciate if you guys would go on, follow and like and share, help spread the word for the podcast. As I said again, we're brand new, starting up, so appreciate all your guys' support, and remember to tweet us and comment on our posts for questions, and we'll answer them in our next pod and also give you a shout out. So we'll get into the podcast now, and thank you. So it was our 18th game of the season there for Liverpool. We're away to Bournemouth on Sunday, 4-0. So Jordan, what do you think of the performance?
Thought the performance overall was brilliant. Always going down to Bournemouth on our away day is always going to be difficult. The show just pure strength. The offence was brilliant. However, but there was times we were open. Could have cost us a lot.
I would agree. Remember sitting watching in the first half especially, and when was it? Jermaine Defoe broke through, hit the post, and for me that was like, right, at some point here, maybe not this half, but we are definitely typical Liverpool. We are conceding a goal here, but thankfully 4-0. Obviously we didn't, but
if it was that Defoe chance could have happened, it could have been a game changer.
Flipping right, it could have.
No one could have blew it.
Well, Liverpool 4th place in the league at the minute. After 18 games, 9 wins, 7 draws, 2 losses. Happy with the 2 losses, but obviously the draws could have been a wee bit less, would have threw us right up the table there, like. But Bournemouth after that game are now 16th, so 16 points from 18 games. Like, it's not
pretty poor.
Yeah, so
you look at it.
Like Liverpool, like especially me, maybe we might be a bit die hard on it, like, but I think 99% of Liverpool fans were hoping for 3 points, or anything else I think would have been a disappointment. Going back to our previous games, the only doubt in my head was that Liverpool had previously played West Brom, which was the worst game I think I've ever watched. 0-0, flipping disastrous, and a 1 each with Everton, which also felt like a loss. But
yeah, it just sort of shows that with the attack we have, it has to go for you for scoring goals. The luck's not there, as shown in the Everton game and the West Brom game. There's just nothing went for us. Even the Dominic Solanke one against West Brom, that the handball, the call that was declined the goal. Well,
on that point, what did you think? Goal or no goal?
Thought it was a goal because he couldn't take his hand the other way. It hit him.
Like a natural reaction type of thing.
You couldn't do anything about it.
Yep.
Simple.
To me, I was sort of like, Liverpool fan, definitely a goal. But looking back next day, once the whole emotion of it had sort of disappeared, I was like if that was against Liverpool, I would be screaming, no goal. But
I mean, those 2 games, there was big opportunities in a way that happened, or problems with the West Brom game. There was the Dominic Solanke. If you look at the Everton game, there was the penalty. Jan Lovren, was it a penalty or not? What do you think?
No, you've really struck on one, because one, I wouldn't be Dejan Lovren's biggest fan, but I have to say, when Dejan Lovren was just, in my head anyway, he was just typical Dejan Lovren. He, what is it, Calvert-Lewin? It was. Came into the box, and it was nowhere near a dive, I wouldn't say that, but
going down.
He played for it, like. But in saying that, see, when you look at the replay, Dejan Lovren, hand up on the back, last man in the box, like, to me, Calvert-Lewin turned away, not away from goal, but he wasn't turning directly into goal. It would have taken, in my head, like a real like superstar, like a Messi or something, to like tuck the chance he had away.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Lovren just panicked. Maybe that's why he's not what I would class as a world class defender. But to me, it was just like, show him out, show him onto his weak foot, and he had done that, and then all of a sudden the hand came out, penalty, and see, first reaction, I said yes, penalty. It was stupidity in my mind anyway. But what did you think?
Also, I just think that Dejan Lovren, yes, he has a mistake in him, but I also think he's a scapegoat for a lot of the problems that Liverpool encounter, especially defensively.
Yeah, I would agree on that. Yeah, big time.
I think I would blame the midfield, because I think the midfield's lot is very offensive, so they're all pushed forward and there's no one who's like an anchor who'll just sit. Right? Dejan Lovren gets a...
Well, going back on that, yes, them two results were hard to say disappointing, but
wanted more out of them.
yeah, you just wanted more. But looking back there, Liverpool haven't been beaten 11 matches. Going back to the Bournemouth match, Bournemouth hadn't won in 5 matches, so to me it was like, if we don't win this is highlighting a problem. But
Yeah,
what do you think defensively? Like, we conceded the goal to Everton, was a penalty. 0-0 with West Brom. So if you take Everton into consideration, we didn't concede from open play. It was a penalty we conceded, which obviously any team can score a penalty, really, but didn't concede against West Brom from open play. And we've now won 4-0, so there's 3 clean sheets back to back from open play, ignoring the penalty. So
has been very much this season that Mignolet, well, all keepers, goalkeeping is our major problem at Liverpool Football Club.
it's actually quite an interesting point that if you look back over our recent matches, there's 4-0 Bournemouth, clean sheet, 0-0 West Brom, clean sheet, 1 each with Everton, which was a clean sheet, we're going to call it, from open play. The penalty scored. The match before that was Spartak Moscow, the 7-0 thumping, which was obviously amazing. Another clean sheet. Brighton, we beat them 5-1. Glenn Murray scored a penalty. There's another clean sheet from open play. So before that was Stoke City 3-0, and then Chelsea 1 each. But Willian, that was a complete freak goal. But like, there's, what's that? Like, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 matches where we have had clean sheets from open play. That, to me, that's, in Liverpool recent history, that's nearly unheard of. Like, that's, to me, Klopp has made a change there somewhere. That's going.
There has to be a change. Start of the season, that was a criticism from everyone, that defence is the problem, the goalkeeper was the problem. Now it just seems to have been a sudden change where they seem more compact, more tighter. They are better at defending set pieces to an extent.
Gonna drop a clanger on you. We've had so many clean sheets from open play, so called. Do we still need Van Dijk or another centre back in January?
I think definite need Van Dijk. That's just a cert. We need him. We need someone who's comfortable on the ball, who can go up and win in the air and dominate. When you look at Manchester City, they've got Vincent Kompany, who's leader and dominates everything. That's what we need.
Well, Van Dijk, yes, seen him, brilliant player, really comfortable and all in the ball, as you're saying. But if Southampton come to us and say, listen, we want 70, 80 million, as a Liverpool fan, are you, like, it's different paying a lot of money for an attacker, but defenders, like, you look at Man City, like Kyle Walker and stuff, like, these are all the dearest defenders ever bought in the world, and they're topping 50 million max. Are you prepared as a Liverpool fan to say, yes, centre back, we're giving you 70 or 80 million? Or would you rather go elsewhere? Because I've seen it in papers and stuff mentioned Stefan de Vrij from Lazio. Would you prepare to go in for someone like that? Maybe a wee bit more risk, but like maybe max 30, 40 million? Would you be...
Personally, I think in this day and age, you need experience in the Premier League. Going to foreign leagues, yes, in that league they could be amazing, real good performer, but you need someone who's proven that you can know what's going to come. I would pay 70 million for Van Dijk, because look at it. PL Scissor.
What would be the max? What would be
The max?
what would be the point where if you woke up tomorrow morning or 1st of January and went, Liverpool paid X, Y, and Z, what would be the first amount that you would go, hold on a minute, that's too much? Is it 100 million? 100? I know, like, we're completely taking this out of context, but when is too much? What amount is too much for Van Dijk?
I think we need to realise that Van Dijk, no disrespect to Southampton, but Southampton are a mid team. Van Dijk, do you put him in the context of star player in a mid team, or will he be an ordinary player in a top class team?
In a good team, yeah. I know what you're saying. To me, like, I was not so much surprised. I want Van Dijk and all, big time, but been watching him. He's just sort of came back for Southampton, making a sort of return after his wee sort of strike, trying to get him moved to Liverpool. But watching him, and you're like, yes, he's a good player, but you don't know if his heart's there, because maybe he has his heart set on a Liverpool move and sort of feels fucked over by Southampton or whatever. So it's sort of hard to judge, like, is this the Van Dijk we will be buying? But to me, if I woke up tomorrow and said Van Dijk bought 70 million, I'd be like, right, yes, we got Van Dijk. But to me, any more than that is, it's too much. Like, it's different. Like, if you woke up tomorrow morning and, like, yes, this is being delusional Liverpool fan and saying we signed Neymar for 100 million or Messi or blah blah blah, the amount doesn't matter. It's, you got that player. But to me, Van Dijk, not sure if it's the defender or if it's just the player, but 70 million to me would be, right, holy shit, this is too much. Maybe this is.
I will hear something for you. And you mentioned there about he has the heart and stuff for it. Player of our own, Coutinho. Is he? Tell him he goes to Barcelona. The amount of money he gets, will that money go towards Van Dijk?
That's
or
another
will it go
problem.
somewhere else?
First of all, we need to ask, is Coutinho staying or is he going? Right? So there's crazy money turned down for him in the summer, which was a clear intent by the club, but there could be a problem here that we could pretend that Coutinho isn't going. Even if he is, we could pretend he isn't going, and there could be a contract with Coutinho or whatever and say, we'll let you go as long as it's in the last 5 or 10 days of January, which I think they should do. There's no point going, right, Coutinho, you can leave 1st of January, gone. Liverpool get 150 million or something, a ridiculous amount, and then every other club, we've seen it before, every other club go, you just got 150 million for Coutinho. Instead of wanting 70 for Van Dijk, we now want 80. We want 90. So would we be better if Coutinho is to go? Are we better saying, Coutinho, yes, you can go, but you have to go after the 20th of January and get the Van Dijks, get the everyone else signed and get them for a fair deal rather than the.
In with Barcelona, they went and bought, or they sold Neymar for over 200 million. They bought Dembele, so this large amount of money still left over. So in a way, you use that to your advantage. But
yeah.
But we need to define now: are we a top club, or we're just going to club?
That's the thing. If we're a top club, why are we sitting here talking about Coutinho leaving? Like, when you compare the likes to Barcelona and all, I read it in the newspaper there the other day that the only player that Barcelona are considering losing, and they've sort of says, yes, we are losing type of thing, instead of it being a Coutinho or whatever, it's Mascherano is the only player. Apparently he's signed for some Chinese club. So that is a top club in Barcelona saying we might lose Mascherano, whereas we're now talking about losing Coutinho. That's like Barcelona losing Messi, which isn't happening. So that's the difference at the minute between Liverpool being a top club and not being a top club.
Do you think that, seen a lot of rumours going on about that Barcelona are going to go for like a Christian Eriksen?
I think that would be the perfect fit.
What would be more suitable for them, Coutinho or Eriksen? They've already tried to get Coutinho and they got no as their answer.
At the end of the day, what we just said about Van Dijk, 70 million too much. Where and who in Barcelona is saying Coutinho, 150 million, too much, don't want him, would rather have blah blah blah? Is there a point where Barcelona will just say, you know what, Liverpool aren't going to sell for less than 200 million. We don't want them. Like that could happen, as just as what we were saying, Van Dijk. The fans and the club actually will say, you know what, keep him. We don't want him. Not for that. Because you've seen it before. All these big players come with massive price tags, and they crumble under the pressure. And
example, Fernando Torres going to Chelsea.
Perfect, exactly. He was proven in the Premier League, proven as a really good striker, and just by a move of club to the same league, just with a big price tag, all of a sudden he couldn't score a goal. So, well, moving on a wee bit from transfers, we'll just clear up this Bournemouth. So, easy 3 points, 4-0, 3-0 half time. Was actually expecting a wee bit more, expecting maybe 6 or 7 again, sort of like a Spartak Moscow job. But goal scorers were Coutinho, Lovren with a suicidal header.
That shows commitment and bravery.
Big time. Salah got another goal. What's that up to? 20 odd now, is it?
The Premier League top goals.
Yeah.
Will he add more, or will?
I'm expecting some type of slowdown somewhere. Like, I seen it there. There was a match or two he didn't score, wasn't there? Obviously West Brom he didn't score. Who scored against Everton? Was it? I don't think it was Salah, was it? Anyway, I expect somewhere for there to be a bit of a slow up. But I still, to me, the Harry Kanes and Agueros are not a level above, but they're a goal scoring level above.
For being old right winger and them to be prolific goal scorers,
outstanding. Like, it's gonna ask for more, but not only that, is he's getting a heck load of assists as well. He's just like, did you see the 1-2 with Coutinho? Like, I know he missed that chance, but I remember sitting watching the match on Sunday and played a fantastic 1-2. Like, that's what you're talking about, taking Coutinho out, stuff like that. So yes, Coutinho didn't score. He did score, but he didn't score the goal I was talking about. But he played the 1-2. He was there. Is Salah, if Coutinho goes, is Salah going to be able to create them links with other players?
Do you think that Salah at the moment is overshadowing Coutinho's performances?
Yes, but Coutinho is that much of a special player that I think that he might not score and he might not be the star man, but he will have created. If Firmino scored a hat-trick or Mo scored a hat-trick, Coutinho is going to be somewhere on the assists. Coutinho is going to set them up. Do you know what I mean? He's
there that unlocks. He's the one in the game changer.
Yeah. Right. So we'll move on. So, Friday night, Arsenal.
Big one.
Yeah, massive. So they're 1 point behind us currently. We're in 4th. They're in 5th. What's the best way to start? Do you want to pick your starting 11? Who do you think should start?
Yeah, go for it. So I think goalkeeper will go Mignolet because it looks Karius is playing the Champions League and Mignolet's playing league.
Is that the way you see that going the rest of this season? Karius Champions League and maybe League Cup, FA Cup. Well, obviously League Cup are out, but FA Cup, Champions League goalkeeper only.
That's what I think. Fair. Right back, I think Gomez. Yes, he's young and we're missing Klein, but him and Trent Alexander have done a superb job. I would put Gomez just for his strength.
I think Gomez is the best right back in the league.
Seriously?
I think I watched him. It was Everton and unreal. Like, yes, I can see. I watched that game a couple of months ago for England, centre back, and I was like, right, we've just saved ourselves the 70 million we were going to pay out for Van Dijk. But obviously, maybe if Klein was in there, maybe him and Trent could share the right back, and Gomez would be pushing for a centre back spot. But I don't know. It's, to me, I would agree.
I mean, you look at it. He's brought in but he's been playing Clavan. He got for 4 million. He's experienced, and the way he's signed, there's not much problems really with him. I think there's a better partnership, Clavan and Lovren, than Lovren Matip. It's as if there's no organisation between the two.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. So, where did you leave off then? Gomez right back.
Centre backs, obviously, Lovren and Clavan, because I think Lovren, the past couple of games, I think he's been brilliant. But he's not only scoring the goal, but you can see the confidence coming back on him, and he's Clavan. I think he's just stepped in, fulfilled the fixture.
I have to give it to him, like.
And there's no problems whatsoever.
I think that goal, as much as I hate to say it, I think that Lovren goal the other day was like I made a mistake the other night. I'm putting my head at risk here. I'm going in for this header, and it was like, right, because you even seen in the celebration, he didn't go nuts, but like you could tell, yes, like that's me paid back. Like, so Lovren, Clavan.
Obviously, Moreno's out injured. In my opinion, I still think Robertson's better. Reason being, I think he's physical. Yes, he does bomb forward, but Moreno bombs forward and doesn't get back. While Moreno, very erratic. The tackles, he just flies in, and
Yeah.
he's a red card waiting to happen.
I would have said before that Moreno was the better attacker. Moreno's like your left winger stuck at left back.
He's a field winger.
And then he makes the winger type of field challenges at the back. But watching the other game the other night, Robertson going forward, he was nearly a striker at one point. He was like,
yeah, he was all over the show, which was good.
Played a 1-2 with Coutinho, and it was actually Coutinho's per ball that stopped the goal. Like,
yeah,
he was like in playing the offside trap as a left back. And I was sitting going, you know what?
Yeah,
He might be the attacking option here.
Yeah, you've even seen Robertson playing on international duty. The goals that he's came off with have been absolutely spectacular. His delivery for crosses are superb. I mean, I think that's something we lack with our attack, is no one gets in the box. We don't have that, the Harry Kane who'll sit there,
The
or
poacher.
the Javier Hernandez.
That's Firmino. He'll sit slightly deep and he'll want to create. As much as he wants to score, he wants to create. That's where, like, Harry Kane, you put him in that situation and he'll say, fuck you, he don't want to pass, he wants the goal. Whereas Firmino would get himself in, and if the keeper's in any way of a good position, he'll pass it. Whereas I don't think the likes of the Kanes and the Agueros they'll be selfish. They would rather miss and have a go themselves than pass. But so there you've got Gomez, Lovren, Clavan and Robertson. I think, going back to your old point, that back four picks itself, like, doesn't it? It's all them open play clean sheets are
due to injuries, you can't really do anything about it.
So moving on then to midfield.
Midfield, you might take this bad,
Uh-oh.
but I would drop Henderson. I think he's very poor. I don't think he should be.
Henderson is the wonder player of the league to some, and the worst player in the league to other. He's the most. I've never seen a player that has split so many opinions. One minute he's amazing, and to the other person, the same game that I would have said he was amazing, another person would have said he was brutal.
I think a lot of people try to compare him to Steven Gerrard, which he's not.
They're big boots to fill before he even started.
He was to a disadvantage, but they are completely different players. But yes, he does come off with some cracker passes, but he's very slow at moving the ball, and he hasn't got that burst of pace. So I think instead of Henderson's place, I would put Chan.
What about Chan's contract? No, to me, Chan's a slow player in the team. To me, Henderson's the one that if there's a ball lost up ahead of him and strikers or wherever, Henderson's the one that leaves, not necessarily his man, but Henderson's the one that goes, you know what, I'm going to get him, I am chasing this down. And once, to me, there's players there that see him doing this, and they're like the likes of Wijnaldum and stuff, they're like, I'll just sit here, and then as soon as I see Henderson go, they go, right now I have to go to keep this line high, I have to go. So to me, he brings that intensity, you know, I need to chase this down, and then it follows through the whole team. I think that's why I like Henderson.
Yeah, when I look at Chan, you see he has his part. Yes, he carries the ball forward. You don't see Henderson. Henderson's looking left and right, and that's just, while Chan, he'll go and he might try and take it around someone, or he'll play a wee through ball. But Henderson's just either switch it, or he's just
I
Very
know
ordinary.
you would love to see him bring like a few more goals, and to me Henderson would be the man. But right. So what have you got then? You've dropped Henderson and you've brought in Chan. So
Sort of stuck between two, Wijnaldum and the Ox.
does Ox play against Arsenal? Against his old team?
I think the hunger's there, and
I think he's been fantastic over the last
Yeah,
few
the
games.
first-
He's like what I'm talking about. The Henderson, he was doing that from the right side. He was flying in down to their left back and stuff, and jumping in challenges, and that's what we want. And as long as he doesn't have any heart left in Arsenal, that I would like to see him go out harder against Arsenal, going, you know what,
proving a point.
I'm gonna hurt you. Like, obviously you don't set out to hurt a player, but I want to cause damage to your team. I'm not a Liverpool player. Like, F you Arsenal, I'm coming. Like,
Yeah.
if he has got that attitude, to me, Ox plays like.
I mean, you should have the attitude of, I left you to go to a better team, and this is the reason why I left you.
Bingo, that's it.
That's, but it would probably be with Genie, because I think Genie, he seems very ordinary. He keeps the flow in the game. He keeps
On his day, he's an amazing player, but there's this thing.
everyone's the same.
There's
He
this-
never
exactly.
carries the ball. It's always quick, like a 1-2, or it's
There's this
pass
there's
left
this
and right.
thing floating about too, that he's not that good away from home. He's better at home, but
because he doesn't score.
yeah.
Think it just hasn't got the opportunities to score.
Well, so what are you going with then? Chan, Ox,
Go
and
Ox.
Genie, or
No,
or
no.
was it between Ox and
I'll
Genie?
put Wayne Ox and Genie.
Right.
And
So,
on the left side, I'll put Coutinho, because I'm going to go for the Fab Four,
oh, I like it.
because they've proven against Spartak Moscow they can tear apart and destroy.
Definitely. So, your midfield then complete with Ox, Chan, and Coutinho. So, we all know it now, the Fab Four, but finish off a team.
Left wing will be Mane. He's just one of these players that he'll maybe say walk up to you, and then with like a switch he's gone, and he leaves the defender. I mean, he might be coming up against Bellerin. Interesting to see the pace.
Then the best bet, I've seen it sort of in the newspapers and stuff, that if you don't start Mane, which would be completely nuts in my head, but if you don't start him, to keep the likes of Genie and stuff in the team, to sort of lock down a heavier midfield against obviously a slightly better opposition in Arsenal. But to me, Bellerin's an attacking force, one of the quickest players in the Premier League. So to me, in his head, he's going, right, I can't bomb on here. I'm not playing against Genie, Wijnaldum or whatever. Mane is hugging that left wing. Instead of me bombing forward here, if I bomb forward, Mane's sitting with no man. So to me, Mane's doing two jobs there. Mane's, yes, attacking, but he's also putting it in the other player's head. That I would say Mane's up there with the speed of Bellerin. Like, he's going to be causing that threat. Like,
He's
so
definitely. And there's Firmino. I know Firmino's not the most prolific, but he's
been playing well. He's been right up
he's
there.
been
like.
up there, yes. And if he's not scoring, he's assisting, or at least he's making good chances. And he's also he is a real creative player. Maybe not as creative Coutinho, but he's still up there. And then finally, the man of the moment now is Mohamed Salah.
Mo.
He's just been incredible.
Don't fire,
What a
like,
signing!
he has to play. Well, different team than what I was expecting from you, but I'm going to go in with my team. So just go straight off the bat that the whole back four plus keepers identical.
Yep.
Part of me, there's a burning desire that I want Karius to be playing over Mignolet.
Why is that?
I just think that Mignolet's been there for not that long, but he's been there for a long enough period that I've seen that many mistakes, and just to me, I
No improvement.
can't trust him. There's no improvement. There's no, listen, I've made this change and I'm back, I'm better. But Karius, yes, I've seen a mistake or two out of him as well, but he's the younger keeper. I think the whole idea behind it is Klopp has fixed, I'm not claiming he's fixed our defence, but there's a difference there. We're saying that there's been like 5 or 6 open play clean sheets put together. Yes, Mignolet might have been in nets for the majority of them, but I'm thinking that's more of a defensive change than it is a goalkeeping change. So part of me's going, if Klopp can change that defence in a way to improve, if given time and given playing time, I think Klopp could make it even better. I think the whole German link there, Klopp and Karius, to me, I think it's like the perfect sort of combo. So there will be a time where that has to come in. I think Mignolet's another clanger on him, but we'll go with Mignolet, Gomez, Lovren, Clavan, Robertson. There's no change. The only thing I would have changed there would have been your Moreno win. I would have been a Moreno man.
Would you?
Not last year, but this year definitely. I think just going forward, and there's been something's clicked with him, that his confidence on the ball. He's not afraid. Like, yes, it's a bad thing in a way at left back to be taking risks, but to me, you have to have a certain confidence in your own ability to take them risks. So that's what I like about him and why I would play him. But
I think there's risks, and then there's just stupidity. There's some of the stuff he goes flying in, but if it goes wrong, it is a red card.
I know. Well, that's just part of his game. But I would have went with my middle three were gonna be Ox, Henderson, and Genie. And the reason for that would have been beat Bournemouth 4-0, showing a wee bit of repeatability, showing a wee bit of trust in the players that had won. Like, you're off the back of 2 draws, sort of poor results for Liverpool, sort of flying high at the minute, and wanted to show a wee bit of, listen, if you get a win with that team, you're going to stay on the team. But doing that means you would have to drop one of the Fab Four. Mane would be the easiest to drop from a positional point of view, because then you would have Coutinho hugging the left, Salah on the right, and Firmino down the middle. But to me, if you're going to drop any of the 4, you would have to drop Firmino. But then the question is, who plays up the middle? There's no middleman there. So looking at it, it's either Ox or Genie, the same as what you had. And I think, from what I've seen, Oxlade-Chamberlain plays. So drop Genie out of the original team. So you've got Henderson, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Coutinho, with obviously the Mane on the left, Firmino down the middle, and Salah on the right. Salah's just undroppable, so that's not even a question. But
yeah.
So originally I had Genie, but then I put Mane's position in sort of doubt, because Coutinho would have to hug the left, no middleman, so Firmino would have to go. And Firmino, yes, he scored, which he's not a goal scorer, and sort of that's shown this year, but to me his performance justified him starting, so hence why Genie got the cut. So looking at the league there, Liverpool scored 38 goals, conceded 20. Arsenal, obviously, as I said earlier, 1 point behind in 5th, have only scored 31 and conceded 20, so they've conceded the same amount of goals, but Liverpool have 7 more goals. So hopefully that has some reflection on the score.
Yeah, I think this match, it's so big, because
a lot resting on it, like,
for top 4, that could turn into a 4 point, or it could be trailing 2 points.
Exactly. That's...
So it's hard, and we need to make it count, and they need to show, which I hope they do, and I think they will.
Arsenal's one of them. I don't see us getting a 2-1 or a 1-0. I either see we getting a stupid defeat, or a draw, or else I can't see Liverpool winning like 2-1, 1-0. I think it'll be like a 3-0, 4-1. Like, I can see if Liverpool are going to win, Arsenal to me are going to collapse. But on that, what's your prediction for the score?
Well, the way I look at Arsenal and Liverpool matches is that both teams just forget about defence and they all just attack. So I'll put it out there for a 4-2 Liverpool win.
I'm going to go with a 3-1 Liverpool win with an Oxlade-Chamberlain goal.
I'd love to see that.
I'm throwing that in. And a wee Mo Salah goal to keep his Premier League top goal scoring rant on point. But the third goal's up for grabs, and if Liverpool want to score more, can far ahead at it. So that's Arsenal cleared up for Friday night. What do you think? Obviously we're coming close to January, Christmas period, so transfers.
definitely there's transfers that need to be done. As we've talked about, Van Dijk, crucial. Would do. I mean, he's a player that we can play in the Champions League because he hasn't played Champions League. There's rumour about Thomas Lemar. However, he's played the Champions League
Baller.
a while ago. So
Never actually considered that. That would rule him out. He'd be cup tied then, wouldn't he? So if we sign him in January, couldn't play in Champions League. See, stuff like
Okay.
that'll come into. I think Klopp is probably one of the most patient managers in the league. There's every Liverpool fan screaming, going, sign, 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 sign. But to me, Klopp is the man that'll go, you know what, we'll wait. I've just signed a 6-year deal to be manager. We'll wait until summer, we'll wait.
it's even the same as when they signed Naby Keita, and he's coming next summer, which from the looks of things will be Chan's replacement if he doesn't sign the contract.
I think Naby is going to be one of the star players of the league. He's like the N'Golo Kante, but to me, he's got not goals in him, but he's got that attacking threat. Watched a few of his highlights, but I'm absolutely shitting myself over it's yellow card. Like the minimum he gets when I go on to check. I'm sitting tuning into RB Leipzig's sort of matches, sort of on a weekly basis, just trying to keep up to date, and the minimum I think you see is, yes, he might have been like one of the best players in the pitch, but yellow card. And there was a spell there going back a month or two where it was red card, suspended for a game, coming back, double yellow card, off again, and it was like, what have we bought here? Has he lost the head? Is this money going to his head already? But
even there was things about him in training where he, on a teammate, he went in on a real bad tackle. But that's football's competitive.
It's actually on our YouTube channel to plug it. There's a video of his, that was during pre-season or at a camp.
Yeah.
He went in the shock and tackle during training, but again, that was the whole link with Liverpool. So just to check in with our social media, that's on our YouTube channel. So this pod will be live on Podbean, YouTube. You can go on to our Instagram, which, Jordan, that's your responsibility to keep up to date. So make sure you go and check out our Instagram, at theLFCtribe, Twitter as well. So on Twitter, for the next episode of the podcast, if you tweet us for questions, we're gonna, at the end of the pod, we're gonna have a few question and answers. So anything at all you want to ask me, James or Jordan, we'll give you a shout out in the podcast and answer your questions. So before we sign off this episode, is there anything else you feel in the coming weeks? We'll look at the obviously we've got Arsenal coming up here on Friday night, which, as we've said, is an absolutely massive fixture, especially coming in the busy Christmas period. But we've then got Swansea at home. So
there could be
that, as you were saying, the manager.
The manager just got sacked, Paul Clemens. So, I mean, I seen today on Sky Sports that it's either Bilic or Koeman.
Oh, flip.
So,
even if the manager isn't in place, but that stage, Swansea, it used to be the whole, I know Shelvey's away, he's at Newcastle now and stuff, that's a year or two old now, but to me, that plus Swansea was always, going to Swansea was like no, or even playing Swansea. But I don't know, to me, if we do not get 3 points there's a problem.
I think we seem to have the problem. It happened to us against Leicester. Craig Shakespeare took over first game.
It's that new manager syndrome,
and everyone has the boost to go and maybe play for their place.
So we've got Arsenal, as we said, Swansea. Next up, Leicester at home. Leicester, that's, to me, that's the decider. That's what turns a good Christmas period into a bad Christmas period. That, to me, that could be remember the whole Jamie Vardy goal.
Yeah. Where Leicester in the league?
Leicester in the league this year are 8th. So currently 18 games, 26 points. So we're in 4th, so 4 places ahead with 34 points from 18 games. So there's currently a 8-point swing there. So that's another, like what we're going back to the Arsenal, you could be 4 points clear or 2 points behind. That could be a Leicester are out of sight for the season, or you know what, Leicester are 5 points behind us, and we've probably dropped fifth. And even like going to another point there's Burnley in 6th place, 2 points behind Liverpool. Burnley.
There was rumours of Sean Dyche going to Everton for the performance he's done for Burnley. But he stayed at Burnley, gave him his dues, and yes, no disrespect to them. The team's not full of superstars, but they're a team that play as a team, play together, win together, lose together, and that is just, they're complete. It's like Leicester when they won the league that year, they were complete, and they could take down anyone because they played for each other.
On the point of Burnley, about to scare you here, but obviously Burnley at home, good, but after Leicester, so what we're saying is a deciding factor, Burnley away to finish off the Christmas period. So Burnley away is on the 1st New Year's Day. So that Leicester, that's a bogey team as such. Burnley at home, that could easily be 1-0 Burnley with a 90th minute winner and absolutely wrecked everything Christmas. Swansea, so we'll review it. I think Liverpool, I would like to see a win, which would be 3 points against Arsenal. You would then have your 3 points against Swansea, which would strongly believe. Leicester, you would like this is all looking, positively.
Decent enough.
You could easily get your 4 out of 4 there, but I feel that there's going to be a draw in there somewhere. There's going to be a Burnley at home draw somewhere. There could be a Leicester draw, and you could even throw on an Arsenal draw if you're going to be looking negatively on it. So you could end up there with 6 points out of 4 games, which again, looking back at West Brom and Everton, could be we could have done a lot better there, and it could be a simple mistake like a Dejan Lovren foul. It could be a Mignolet clanger in the box. It could be, it's so easy to throw points away, and all these games are like 2 and 3 days apart max, so there's tiredness, there's going to be Klopp's squad rotation, so you have a lot of factors to throw in which could fuck us over.
The problem I see when you're coming against sort of the smaller teams is they with West Brom, they just sit, park the bus, and no matter Fab 4, whatever, they couldn't break them down, and that's what every team's going to do, and try and break you on the counter. Bournemouth, they tried to come out and play us, we were better at it, and we tore them to shreds. But when you see the smaller teams, and especially Burnley, who are a defensive unit, will be hard to break.
See out of all them games, see if someone, say you were to turn around and say to me, out of them 4 games, we're winning 3 of them and drawing 1 of them, my draw, most people would say Arsenal, my draw would be Burnley away.
Yeah, they do.
That's a scary place to go at the moment. But to finish up the podcast anyway, seeing now that Oxlade-Chamberlain, Phil Coutinho and Roberto Firmino all visiting local Liverpool primary schools.
Yep.
Probably a good way to sign off for Christmas. Obviously, guys, this is our first podcast, so don't know how quick or how often we're going to get these up. We're going to try our best to go as often as possible, but this may well be our last one before Christmas. We'll try and push another one out, but
sneaky one in.
Yeah, it might be short, might be a wee long Christmas special, but that's what I'm saying. You just need to sort of Facebook, there's a Facebook page up live, go like, share it, tag all your Liverpool supporting friends in, even if they're not. We do talk a wee bit of football sense, so get them all involved. There's Instagram, Podbean is the best place. Podbean and YouTube are the best places to actually listen to the podcast, but make sure you get on all the other social media, ask questions, hit notification buttons, and you'll get when all the podcasts are live. So as we're saying, we're not exactly sure because we're so early of when it's going to be out, but hit all them notification buttons and you'll be alerted when they're out. So hopefully another one before Christmas. So brought up the whole Coutinho, Firmino and Ox visiting schools just in case we don't bring it up, but I think that's a fantastic touch from the club and probably a good place to finish up.
Good image for the club.
Right, well, as I said, it's probably a good place to finish up. So this wraps up our first podcast from the theLFCtribe. So hopefully, eventually we'll get to a weekly point of view if we find somewhere that suits us. But we're hoping to get a third member in to the podcast team as well. So at the minute, it's been myself, James, and also Jordan's been here tonight. So hopefully we have another member to add in the weeks to come. But we'll leave it there. This has been the first podcast from the theLFCtribe. So remember all the social media sites, subscribe and do whatever needs done. But that's it.